I'm still learning. The way I learn is to listen to the stories of others. And I would like to hear you share with us right now your story. Most of the folks who come to these seminars have a story. Or something or someone is on their minds about a loss. I've always been fascinated that Paul called death a gain. We speak of it as a loss. But in reality, it's both. The problem is you and I have to stay here when they go. That's my message today. You can't cope with it. You can't manage it. You can endure it. Sister Mom, would you tell us your story?
Well, I had mentioned to you before lunch that two things. When I lost my mother, I remember I had read about the stages of grief, and I only really went through 3 of them. But I remember getting angry, just very angry, and I was angry at my mother for leaving me. But then, you know, literally, it didn't last about 30 minutes, and I thought, I'm angry because I'm thinking of me, not of her, because she had cancer and she was better off. She was a faithful Christian, and I thought, she is where she needs to be without pain and with our Lord. And you know, as a Christian, when you lose someone, and that person has been a faithful Christian, we have a comfort that nobody else has. Nobody. Because we know where that person is.
Could you tell me why you're crying when you're telling me that?
I said, no, sir.
So even though I have the comforting words, I still feel the pain. That's my message to you. To all of us Christians, it's normal, folks. I would never let a preacher or anyone else convince me that it's wrong for a Christian to grieve. And remember when I learned from Doris, and she said, what about me? Thank you. How do you feel right now?
I'm thinking of her.
How do you feel? How do you feel?
Sad.
Any anger? You won't go through that one anymore?
And just that one time.
When you say you go through the stage, in my way of thinking, there's a better way to think about it. It's not that I go through it, it just happens. Because otherwise I'm thinking I gotta get through this, and you don't have to. You be angry if you want. It's all right. Thank you. How about you?
I've had several.
This is Gina.
Gina Madigan. I've had the death of a dream.
Say that again.
I had the death of a dream. I was not able to have children. And so dealing with the infertility was a huge grieving process that I struggled with for even up till probably 5 or 6 years ago. And I'm 55 years old. Then I was married for 28 years. And something happened in the marriage that I just could not bear yesterday. So all those future plans, they died into along with that marriage. And then just recently, the second father, we lost my father. And he was the person that I was talking to and, you know, asked for advice and stuff. And he had been a lawyer forever. And so you could tell him anything. I could tell him anything in the world, he'd just sit there and look at me, and then he'd say, do you really think that's the way to handle this? But, you know, he was always the one that you could just go and dump it, and then he would just sit there and look at you real stoic and say, now let's talk about this, let's think this through. But he had developed dementia. And so we actually started losing him a couple of years ago. But even at that tangible loss, he's still so hard at times. Because, you know, even in his dementia, he would have these things that we do. It was very funny, and then we would laugh and be there. And I numerous times a day, all the time, every chance you get. But there's been pain for lots of pain. And I had a really hard time at one time in my life reconciling that the God that I had been raised to trust and believe in would let this happen. And then it's like you said, you learn why not. And you talk to other people. I'm a supervisor over about 15 women. And as time goes by and you learn, and during that time, I've had 3 loose children. One of them was hit by a car, one of them was killed in a 4-wheeler accident, and then one of them was perfect and died. Not actually still. And to watch these women and to try to help them in their grief with this child and that loss, and you learn so much from them, and you learn so much grace from them, and you understand.
You learn so much from them.
Learn grace.
Explain that to me.
You learn how you see how God comes into their lives with other people, with other situations, that it doesn't take their pain away, that it gives them something to focus on and to help. It gives them a mission or something in life. And so you watch God move in their lives and in yours.
Do you suppose that, are these not non-New Testament Christians you're talking about?
They are Christians.
Oh, they are Christians. Do you suppose they are recognizing that? Or what do you say?
At different times, well, it's the same thing. In the beginning, it's the struggle of God, we're going to let this happen.
Gina, I want to give you a word, and I want you to respond to it.
Okay.
Disappointment.
It happens.
It happens. Your dream died. That's what she said. Disgust.
Probably with myself because I should have adopted.
Angry at yourself.
Not now.
Then?
There probably was then, yes.
Was there any anger originally?
Oh, yes.
At?
God.
Did that work itself out eventually?
Oh, yes.
Did you go through a period where you couldn't be faithful?
Well, I don't know that I would say that I couldn't be
Well, you could be in the building and not be, I don't mean in attendance, but in terms of your relationship.
I don't think so. I think it was always because I was what I refer to as a cradle Christian. I don't ever remember a time in my life that I didn't believe that he was right there with me every step of the way. And I can remember at different times at the end of
Let
my
me stop
marriage.
you, but you were angry at him.
Yes, I was. But I
He
knew he was still there.
I said that earlier. That means you're not an atheist.
That's right.
But because Jeremiah got so angry, so Hezekiah. So this is a possibility. But I, as a Christian, I need to understand that is something that happens to people. I think we think it's abnormal. We get angry at God. You're not still.
No.
Just angry at me for going so long today.
No.
When you talk about it, Gina, how painful is it? I need that answer from you too.
Right now?
Yes.
It's not painful. Talking about my dad is still kind of painful. Talking about what happened with my
Did you
marriage.
realize you're still a bit upset with him?
No, I don't think I see it that way.
How do you see it? That's why I asked you about the word disgust. Because you said when you needed answers, he's the one, right? Where do you go now?
No,
Okay, but you don't get direct answers.
you don't hear them.
Okay.
And they don't hope that he's not able to take
If
the
he starts
hand
to
and say
beat you,
something
come
better.
see me because you're a little bit. What about that answer? Do you still feel the pain? I don't know if I asked you that.
I feel the loss.
Is it a pain or is it what is it? Disappointment?
Not a disappointment.
Deprivation?
Not
You deprived of something? Your dad's not living. Anybody?
You.
Cheryl, yes.
I told,
This girl has lost 5 of her siblings. She came from a family of 9. We just did her sister's funeral. I did it.
I do much better now. But I was talking to Brother Brock about our grandbaby.
His name is Kendall.
Bobby's my name.
His last name is Kendall.
Oh, Kendall, yeah. Kendall.
His name is Brock, and
I know it's Brock.
that's his son,
Brock Kendall.
and he won't own up to it.
Okay. Anyway, I told him that when James died,
James is the grandson.
I got very angry at God. And
You and me both.
so angry that I stopped praying. And I said, there's no, what's the use of prayer? There's no need. And
It's strange that even when she stopped praying, she was going to worship Jesus.
I did it. And I did repent and
You're really not there, are you?
asked forgiveness, but it still hurts.
All of that wasn't God's fault.
I realize that. I do realize that.
I have a tie I'm going to wear tomorrow. At the top of there are 3 pictures on it, our 3 great grandchildren. It's going to be obsolete in about 2 months. We've got 2 more coming. So I have 5. But this one at the top is named James. His father is the brother of the boy we're talking about that died, the younger brother. David was born after James died. Well, he grew up, married Monica, now they had their first son. He named him James after his son, his brother. So we have another James. But I look at that boy, and every time I look at it, I see the other brother. So little things like that can remind you of what's going on. She started crying just now when she was done. This is 27 years ago. Can't you get over it? Isn't that a point? That's the point I've been trying to make all day. You're a widower. Sheriff, if you wouldn't mind.
I've been a widower for 2.5 years. We were married almost 51. And she died very unexpectedly. But I wish her everybody.
Was it an extended illness or sudden?
Well, she'd had a lot of health issues, but her health was very sudden. She died in her sleep. Went to bed 5 and passed during the night.
Did you find her?
Yes.
Can you remember what that moment was like?
I forget that moment. I see it every day. It still hurts. Because I was older and I was going to go first. But God had other plans. I just never thought about her going first. Even though she had her problems. But I have a good earthly family and a church family. And I take one day at a time. That's all I can do. But it still hurts all.
Somebody tell me, thank you, brother. Somebody tell me why it is that non-Christians ask for a preacher to come with a Bible at the funeral when they have never darkened the door of the church building in their lives. When I did her sister's funeral, folks, in that audience were any number of drug addicts, alcoholics, a married homosexual couple, which is one of our nephews, great nephew, I guess he'd be, and all that kind of thing out there. And they were all walking around talking about how they were going to go to heaven. Preached to them. And I actually told them in the sermon, I said, if you want to see this lady again, you're going to have to be right with God and you're not. I just told them. Part of the family anyway. And I just decided that was the day to unload it. And I did. I don't probably think that did any good, just help me. Because of all the things that hurt me the worst, Jerry, you can help us here, is doing a funeral for a non-Christian. That is the worst thing, because you have nothing to give them hope. You can only talk to the living. You know, he was a nice guy and whatever else you can say. Brock, any deaths in your family?
I had deaths, no immediate family, no one, I mean, those have been close, but not sure.
Well, your dad died too then. That's your dad, because your sister's, right? Do you admit it? He was a lawyer. Was he a good lawyer?
He ended up being a federal judge.
A federal judge. You know, there's a lot. There was no anger at him when he left? How about you?
I don't really know what I felt when he left, because he had walked off from that house and was missing for like 5 hours with the dementia. And we couldn't find him, couldn't find him.
113 degree heat.
And we finally found him in the backyard of Susan's house. But this
He
is
was
all
only about 4 houses away.
So,
Deal with that memory with me for a minute. Teach me something. Was there ever any thought about why didn't somebody watch him now that he got out?
my mom was with him, and he had gotten out of the house, and she was a bedroom. And, but
She'd gotten very crafty. He had tried to get away from him
The day before.
Kroger. And he was heading into the woods that day. Around the side of the building.
so it was like, I get a call and say my dad's missing. And it got to the point.
Are we talking about here in Cabot?
Yes.
This
The
is
whole
recent.
community.
Yeah.
Just recently?
The second of August.
August.
The whole city came up there was. Police department, fire department. People we didn't
for
know.
about 4 hours. And the police chief here got phone.
How's your mom still living? Okay. Will I get to meet her?
We tried to get her to come. She was.
So it's still kind of
Wrong.
raw.
I wonder what she's going through. She needs a lot of support too.
She lives next
Is there-
door to her. And
Is it possible for a person to blame himself for what
She
happened?
did in the beginning.
Do you hear
was
that
the
from her
first thing.
sometimes?
The first thing she said was she should have been watching.
Yeah. And with dementia, there's frustration. So she would get frustrated. And that morning, they kind of had a little bit of a quarrel because he hit her Bibles from her. Because he would hide things periodically, and sometimes you could never find them. We're still looking for some things, but.
You gotta stop hiding his Bibles from him. Anyone else wanna share something? Listen to what happened here. Feel good about sharing it with us? Yeah. Yes, because it's out here now. I want a hug from all 3 of you when we get done. Because you taught me something today. Thank you for having me. It's always good to be had. I'm going to know where Cabot, Arkansas is now. First time I've ever been here in my life. The Bible says, confess your faults one to another. I'm a Yankee.
Oh, no.
I'm not from the South, but I married a girl from the South to get citizenship.
Oh, there you go.
Yesterday was our 55th wedding anniversary. She is the servant in our family. She's the one reason I'm a Christian. But the baby boy is the reason really that I'm here. Because he taught me, I don't know anything about this stuff. I need to learn. I'm grateful to David Wolfeld for all the teaching he did for me. Thank you for sharing this. Anybody have a question, comment? Something ugly you'd like to say to me, Sister Scroggins? How you doing?
No, I'm so glad to see y'all.
You doing all right?
Doing great.
What's your little girl's name again?
Myra.
Myra. Hi, Myra. Bye.
She's ready to go.
Yep, she's ready to go. Thank you.
Thank you.